What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of It's Nothing Personal, Just Buffalo. I am your host, JTM. Got my co-host in the building with me, as we like to call him, the NFL pedigree, James Mallory. We'll be joined by our guy, International D Dot, to talk about the office a little later in the show today. But before I defer to Mal, Bills coming off a big win, moving to 6-2, went out to Seattle, and another, we like to call it, in an away home game, because the Bills Mafia absolutely took over another stadium, defeated the Seattle Seahawks 31-10. So tonight we got a really good show lined up for you guys. We're going to be talking about recapping the game, what we saw from the offensive side, the defensive side, and specifically talking tonight about the performance of the Bills rookie Keon Coleman. Another very good game, impactful game. We'll be talking about the performance of Josh Allen. We'll get D-dotted on that, really break down what he's seeing from the offense, as this offense is averaging 29.3 points per game over the last 3 games. Okay, so very efficient there. We will be talking about the Bills defense and how they played against Seattle. And last but not least, obviously, as the Bills prepare to play the Dolphins for the second time of the season, we'll talk about some things about that game. And obviously, Von Miller is returning this week from suspension. So, good show lineup for you guys today. But let's hop right into it. Mal, what did you see? The Bills beat up on the Seahawks pretty good there, and yeah, man, what'd you see there?
I loved it. I loved every second of it, JT. They look good, man. They look in sync. They look like a unit. Were able to run the ball, able to pass the ball. Defense making plays when it mattered, right? No matter, we got injuries happening, right? We got suspensions of Von Miller. They're finding a way, right? And they have every excuse in the world why not to do well, but they continue to get it done. When you look at it, just the different ways we've won this year, 6-2. A lot of people thought this would be a down year. I didn't think it would be, but a lot of people thought this would be a down year for the Bills. And we're out there taking care of business. Went out to Washington, or excuse me, wow, near the
Seattle,
state of
Washington.
Washington.
Seattle,
Yes.
Yes.
Went out to Seattle, took care of business. Against I think it's a pretty good team, right? They're not no pushovers. They're not the Carolina Panthers, right? Like, no offense to them, but they're a solid team. Geno Smith is no bum. Kenneth Walker is a beast.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett, he's still a problem. So Noah Fant, they got some dudes over there that can play offensively. The defense balled out, right? Even on their defense, they got a solid defense, and it's like, these guys showed up and showed out, and took care of business, man.
Yeah, I mean, going to the game, obviously, you never wish for injuries, and that's not what I'm saying here, okay? Obviously, we heard DK Metcalf hurt his knee last week, and we already knew it. We talked about all week. He's not playing in this game. When you hear, there's a difference between hearing day to day and week to week. Week to week means you're probably not playing the first week after the injury, okay?
Yeah.
I think that changed the complete dynamic. That changed a lot of the dynamics in this football game and what the Bills had to guard, because our biggest worry going to this game was the run defense and stopping Kenneth Walker and stopping Zach Charbonnet as well. We have to mention him. When you took DK out of that equation, it said, okay, we can hunker down and stop this run, and they did. When you really look at the rush yards between Charbonnet and Walker, they had a combined 12 carries for 16 yards. Kenneth Walker has literally been going off every single week since his return, and Charbonnet was going off while he was out.
Yes.
That's a very impressive effort for a defense that actually, technically, just to be honest, has struggled against the run this season so far. I believe the Bills were giving up 140 yards rushing per game before this game.
That was the number? Okay.
I believe it was like a 140, and it was like towards the bottom half of the league. So, I mean, with that, that's a very impressive effort. Now, like I said, I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit here too. I think if you added DK Metcalf into this game, it probably changes a little bit. I don't know if it changes everything. I'm not saying it changes the outcome or anything, but it definitely changes a little bit of how you play things defensively. So that was definitely aided Buffalo. But hey, it's not your fault. You play against who's on the football field.
Yeah,
Hell,
I hear you, but I think when you got a bigger, more physical corner like a Benford, I don't know how much it changes because I mean that's the strength of his, right?
yeah,
Um, the receivers that kind of scare me is the fast, twitchy receivers, right? When you talking about nobody's like Tyreek Hill, but him, a Waddle, those real twitchy receivers. Not that DK can't run, we know he can, but Benford, I'm confident with him with that. But like you said, you play who's on the field, and they definitely did that, and they did a damn good job of it.
yeah. Now I will say this too: Seattle's offense, they had a couple good drives, and I thought, especially when you go that to when they had the ball on the 2 yard line and you snap it over the quarterback's head, you lose 18 to 20 yards there. That changes a lot with the game. And then I believe they had another possession they turned the ball over in the red zone. Um, Utterly disgraceful. It looked like a team that came into this game completely unprepared to play football. Now, sometimes I think you expect that to see that type of play on the road, maybe a long travel, maybe one of those damning London games that people have to play in,
Yeah.
or some weird Monday night or primetime game. But to play like that at home was pretty damn bad.
Yeah.
And
It was
shame
bad.
on them. Shame
Yeah.
on them. The penalties, you had players fighting each other on the field and on the sideline. You had a little bit of everything in Seattle, and that, to the point where I'm like, damn, Pete Carroll really not here no more. And I'm not passing judgment on their coach, McDonald. I'm not passing judgment on him yet. He's a young coach, but I thought that was like when we talk about Sean McDermott and his shortcomings. People, please take a really good look at that and how that team was so unprepared. They
Yes.
like they look like they were not prepared to play a football game, and hell, they wouldn't even get along. When you see both defensive tackles fighting each other on the field, and then damn near throwing punches on the sideline, be blessed.
Yes. It turns into once again we talk about all the time, JC culture, right?
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
speak of as culture, you know what the Bills culture is, right? They know what the expectation is, and everybody take care of business, right? Do your job, do your 111th, right, or your 153rd, whatever you want to may say. Um, that culture means a lot. Like when we heard that word before when McDermott first got here, people kind of like shooed it, right? But now
mm-hmm.
you see the culture means a lot in regards to um, sustaining success for a long period of time. In Buffalo, they have that right now, and they're taking care of business.
No, 100%. I wanted to do a deep dive into Christian Benford today. I didn't have time to really research everything I wanted to research on it, so I think we'll wait till after this Dolphin game and do that deep dive on him. But I want to say, what else did you see from the defense here? Overall, as a performance, I personally like to say I like to give out shout out to those safeties. I thought
Yes,
this was probably as a tandem their best game of the season in DeMar Hamlin and Taylor Rapp.
I totally agree there. That's a good call, JT, because when I look at it, y'all know I've been tough on Hamlin, right? But they played well. They
Yep.
played really, really well, man. I think the defense is playing as a unit as a whole, man. Like them
Mm-hmm.
dudes are playing together. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see, man. It really is. So hats off, Hamlin. Hats off to Taylor Rapp. And then I like what they did with Cam Lewis as well, kind of playing that like a linebacker role.
Sub
So
linebacker package. Yeah,
yes,
did you catch that? I think I called you
I
and I was
did.
like, hey, I think it was a third and long, and
Yep.
what they did is they took Dorian Williams off the field and they put Cam Lewis as your second linebacker, and I actually liked it. I think it gave what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was it been what 6 DBs on the field?
6 DB, so you got the four, bro.
Because you had Spectre, 7, and
Six.
4 defense linemen. So yeah, been 6 DBs. I
Six.
actually liked it. I think that's something that they need to look more into
Well, if you
as the
realize,
season
remember
progresses.
we did that last year where Taylor Rapp played that position.
You're right, he did. You're right, he
Yes.
did. Because we ran
Yes.
3 safeties. Yeah, you're right. You're
Yes.
right. Taylor Rapp was in that position. Yep, 100%. Good call there. He definitely did. Um, I would say too, Greg Rousseau and as our man Doug announced that the D line was possessed. Another good game for Rousseau and Epinesa, pushing the pocket, getting pressure.
Yep.
It won't show up in, like I said, it's funny because we were just talking about Greg Rousseau last week, where it's like, listen, you're going to pay him because everything he does not show up in the stat sheet. He may never be that guy that's going to have 14 to 15 sacks in a season, but he'll be double digits or close to double digits. But how he pushes the pocket, he collapses the pocket, tipping balls, how strong he plays against the run.
That's very important because we see. Think about this: when Dallas came to town last year,
Mm-hmm.
how elite is Micah Parsons? We're getting to the quarterback. He's elite of the elite.
Yep.
But he struggled against the run. We actually attacked him in the running game.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't do that against Rousseau. You do that against Rousseau, you might have a long day. So that's something that people overlook a lot.
I just want to give his stats for this game, Rousseau. 4
Okay.
tackles total, 3 solos, 2 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, and 1 QB hit. Now, mind you, there's not a sack on that stat sheet, but that stat sheet stuffing, that's impacting a football game from that position.
Yes, 100%.
Like you said, a lot of these top pass rushers, you're not getting all that. You may get that 1, maybe 2 sacks a game, but the rest of that stuff, oh no, you're not getting your entree. You're just getting your appetizer.
Yes, 100%.
Or I should say, let me reverse it, because sacks are entrees. The rest is appetizers. So I want my entrees and my appetizers if I can get it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, shout out to Greg Rousseau. Really, really good football game there. I think who else had a good football game? Rasul Douglas. 6 tackles,
man, he's balling.
5 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass deflection. He dropped the interception on us. He dropped 1 on us, but had his game. And did Javon Solomon, was that his first sack this season?
Second, I believe.
Was it his second?
If we look it up, I believe that was his second. If you don't mind looking at
it.
Another person who I'm telling y'all right now, somebody may want to pay is Dorian Williams, man.
You know what? That's gonna be a that's gonna be a conversation for us. I think a little bit down the line this season. We're gonna have to discuss that because at some point we're gonna start doing our recorded sessions again, where we do produce content that way. That's gonna have to be a discussion about Dorian Williams long term and what's his role. Because I think I brought an interesting fact to you when we're talking on the phone about maybe he doesn't replace Matt Milano. Maybe he replaces Terrell Bernard.
It could be a possibility.
If you don't want to pay Bernard.
You know what I personally think the Bills would do? I think they would trade him. I think they would keep Bernard. I think they would trade Dorian Williams and get some value there. That's what I think. I don't think he will be here long. I don't think they're going to. I mean, I could be wrong. They may not pay him. I could see them trading him. I could see them keeping Bernard though.
I tell you what, the best availability is to be available.
That's right 1,000,000% correct.
Right now, Terrell Bernard ain't been available, and he better be real careful because this dude is a tackling machine.
Yes.
That's the type of dude you put at middle linebacker. You say, listen, Danny Bateman Danny, go get me the ball. Basically, yes. And that's what he is. Go get me the football, and he go gets the ball.
I told you before, JT, he was one of those dudes. People was being a little rough on him. I said, just let him play. He's one of them dudes you just got to let play, and he's gonna ball, and that's what he's doing right now.
Well, they found a niche. He still can't cover worth a damn.
It's gotten better.
He can't cover. He can't cover. What I said specifically was you should have got Trenton Simpson because he can cover. But just saying, I hands off to him. I'll give him, like I said, I was rough on him. I owe that man somewhat of an apology because I said he may be one of the lowest IQ players I've ever seen. I was totally wrong on that. He's getting better, but I'll give him applause. He'll get one. I apologize. Still can't cover worth a damn, though. I'm just saying he can't cover. You put him out there against one of the better quarterbacks, they're going to pick his ass apart. So you better get Milano back for the playoffs. Just saying. But hats off. He's playing really, really good. I thought DeMar Hamlin had another good game. What I'm seeing from DeMar at that safety spot is I'm seeing more read and reacting now.
Yes.
So we spent the first couple weeks saying, like, listen, yeah, he's getting tackles. He's stuffing the stat sheet with the tackles, but there's no read and reacting. It's coming up late on everything. He's 2 to 3 yards closer to plays in the last 2 weeks than he has been. And that
Yes.
2 to 3 yards is a big difference. That's the difference between a first down. That's different sometimes for a touchdown. So he's getting better there. Still looking for an upgrade past this season at that position. But I will say this, okay? And I'm not really big on really mentioning stuff. But I know that, I don't really talk to Pat Moran. I know him very well. Not very well. I don't know him very well, but I know who he is. He's a cool podcaster in the Bill space, right? So Pat Moran had a podcast the last couple of weeks where he talked about specifically Damar Hamlin.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically was saying in a nutshell that he's not playing bad, but he was, and I'm actually going to go get it. And I don't like to get into people's stuff, but I this kind of struck me the wrong way. Okay. He basically was mentioning that, hold on, let me find it for you. Sorry, he posted it. Sorry, guys. I should have had this up already. Okay. He basically mentioning that about Damar Hamlin, that he was playing. He said interceptions can be so deceiving. There's an amazing interception like Teron Johnson's pick off of Rodgers a few weeks ago, or Micah Hyde's versus the Patriots in the playoffs a few years ago. Then there's Damar Hamlin's 2 this year. An airmail gift by Trevor Lawrence, 10 feet over Brian Thomas's head, and the Benford hit tipped his ball right to Hamlin. Which, in reality, if we're being honest about this, that's the truth.
It is.
Now, mind you have to be in the spot to make a play. You never criticize by for being in the right spot and making a play. Hell, I saw Jairus Byrd get like 10 of them in a season in like 7
Literally.
Okay?
Yeah.
But there is some truth there because I told you before, we get to the end of the season. The way that the Bills are not going to be resigning Damar Hamlin is because he's going to have about 90 tackles, 80 to 90 tackles, and he's probably going to have 4 interceptions.
Yep.
And someone's going to look at the stat sheet and say, "Oh, yeah, this looks good. Wow, played hell of a ball." And you're going to get some fake ass PFF score that says he's going to have like a 90 coverage grade or some shit like that. Excuse my language. And someone's going to say, "Oh, man, that's great. This guy's great." And you're going to pay, and you're going to get fool's gold. But you're going to eat that guaranteed money. So I agree with Pat. But this was the situation. Damar Hamlin's father, Mario Hamlin, got involved in the situation and said, "Damn, Pat, I want my son to have kids one day. Get his nuts out your mouth, you squirrel." Okay. So then Pat Moran then responded, said, "Very professional. Where was my tweet inaccurate? I've also been very vocal about how much I've liked Damar," which he's telling the truth, "as a great person and a warrior more times than I can count. Maybe social media stalking's what I said about family isn't the right place for you if you can't handle a factual tweet like that." So then Mr. Hamlin came back and said, "Man, miss me with all them backhanded compliments. You can keep them. Nothing factual about your post. An interception is an interception no matter how you slice it. And the end result is the same," which is correct. On the stat sheet, it is what it is. You have to be there to make the play.
Yep.
Or you could drop it too. Every week you're glazing and hating on him. His stats don't agree with you. Using his name for likes. You squirrel. Okay. First and foremost, right? I'll just say this. If I ever said something, and that's why I don't really go on Twitter and stuff, because Twitter, X is the devil to me. And I stay away from it because of shit like that.
Yep.
Because if he ever tweeted something to me like that, I will not be as professional. Ain't no way in hell no grown ass man gonna tell me to keep my nuts out your mouth. Because I'm gonna be 100% with you. Father of a player or not, I'll meet you at the family section the next game if you said that shit to me. 110%. Just keeping it real, bro.
It's my thing is this, JT. I'm a man before anything, right?
There you go.
Like,
Bro, you tripping. You're wilding. Your son, and I'm just gonna keep it 100 about Damar Hamlin. Your son was probably on his way to being released. If this terrible, unfortunate situation I'm glad he's bounced back from did not happen, he's probably on somebody's practice squad or running down on somebody's special teams unit that's not in Buffalo. That's being realistic about it. Okay? The second thing is he's starting because the Bills had no money to bring nobody in. I don't know what the deal with Mike Edwards is, and Cole Bishop got hurt in training camp.
Mhm.
Now, is he making the most of the opportunity? Absolutely, 100%. I won't take that from him. But you can't. You got people. Family got to stop getting mad when people are saying stuff. Like
Yes.
especially when it's professional. He didn't say nothing wrong to that man. Just like Gabe Davis' mom last year.
But the thing is this, my thing is this when it comes to reporters and whoever on social media, people of opinion. There's people out there who think Tom Brady sucked.
Oh, yeah.
There's people out there who think Lamar Jackson is bad. There's people out there who think Jerry Rice was bad. Everybody's not going to think you're a good player. I'm
Right.
just making that point. Like,
Right.
there's going to be somebody out there who thinks you're not good. It's their opinion, right? Why are you going to let that affect your day? Why are you going to take the time? Well, that's his reasons. Why take your time out of your day? He ain't come at him as disrespectful as a person.
Right.
He came at him as a player. You know, if that's how he feels, that's how he feels. Guess what? That if he has an opinion on Damar Hamlin, what Damar Hamlin's doing, that's a good thing because I mean Damar Hamlin is on the damn football field. At the end of the day, he's on the football field.
Right.
He's playing. He's contributing. The level that he's contributing is what we all have an opinion on, right? Is it good production? Is it okay production? Is it bad production? What is it? That's the opinion, right? It's not like, oh, should he even be on the field? Nobody's saying that, right?
Right.
What we are saying is, how much is he contributing? How well is he playing a safety? Those are the things that people are talking about. And, it's come off as very sensitive from his father. I respect him protecting his son and coming to his son's defense, but
No. Not
yeah,
like that. Not like that. And honestly, your son has got more support than a little bit. You've got a nationwide support. Don't spoil it and look like an idiot
yeah,
being a keyboard tough guy. And I'm not saying his father won't get it in real life, but like I said, sometimes you gotta be careful what you say to people because you may meet somebody that's hey, this mic ain't everything. Like just don't do that, man. Don't do that. Like don't spoil what has become of your son with comments like that. And like I said, I get it. Everybody wants to protect their child, but no one was personally attacking your child. Don't do that, man. But moving on, man. I just to get that out, man. I had to get that out. I want to talk about the Keon Coleman coming into his own really, really fast. Obviously, another game, Keon had 5 catches for 70 yards, a highlight one-handed touchdown
yep.
catch over Tyreek Woolen out of 7 targets. And on the last 2 weeks, he's had 100 and I believe is 100, like 195 yards, I believe, over the last 2 games. He's getting better a lot faster than I think a lot of us expected. Um, McDermott even alluded, and we'll talk about that too, and I'll bring that comment up that he talked about how he's possibly this contributions from Amari Cooper is helping him on and off the football field, and I'll read that later when we get to that topic. But what are you seeing from Keon Coleman, man?
Comfortable. He trusts in his ability. He's comfortable. They're giving him a role. He knows the game plan for himself, and he's going out. He's executing it at a very high level right now. Keon Coleman is a baller. Point blank. Period. I can't tell you the last time we seen a receiver going high point of football and beat somebody one on one physically like that in the end zone. I can't. I don't remember, JT. I honestly don't remember. We got a receiver out there that's go get the ball. They throw it up. He going to get it. We've been looking for that for years. Like we talking about dating back to when we drafted James Hardy. Like no exaggeration, right? And that was some years ago. And this guy is playing really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a lot of Bills fans who got caught up. It annoys me as a former player. People get caught up with speed. Like, do people realize a lot of people who run 4.2s and 4.3s are just horrible football players?
Yeah,
Like, there's more bust that ran 4.2s and 4.3s than you can imagine,
right.
right? you don't have to be blazing fast to be a great football player. Um, I just get so sick of people doing that with when somebody run a 40. This guy is just a straight out baller. He's what we've been looking for years here in Buffalo. Years. But yeah, the man's balling. He's balling out of control right now.
I think I was saying before, like before the season became, like I was like, listen, I wanted to see how fast he could pick up the speed with just the route running, the separation. I never had an issue or question his physicality. I said from day one, he's going to be able to handle the physicality of the NFL football. That was going to separate him from some of the other rookie receivers that is his class. Is he's coming in and be able to handle the physicality. And honestly, if you saw in the one play that he got loose, they tried to jam him or bump into him, and the corner fell. Like this is a big dude
Yeah.
that you're bumping on. You know, he reminds me a little bit of probably not as fast, but he reminds me a little bit, if you guys remember, David Boston,
Yes.
old Ohio State
No,
receiver.
David Boston was like 240, dude. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. That
yo,
was
he was on
crazy.
steroids. See, he was hitting the needle. Yeah, they caught that later. But
Remember him and Michael Pittman?
yes, yes. So I mean, in the day, the physical is the part that I like, because we haven't had a physical receiver here in Buffalo like that. You know what I mean? That's what we've been missing, and it's a shame that we don't have. Like, it's not a shame because we have Khalil Shakir, who's obviously we can't even not mention the game he had the other day with over 100 yards receiving and like 9 catches.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate that Stephon Diggs wasn't still here to play with this kid.
You know what? I don't know if it works.
If you move him to the slot, yep.
I don't know if that works. And no, well, let me rephrase that. I don't know if it will look the same. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of the personality and how Diggs approached things. It wouldn't have been bad. Let me just say that. It just wouldn't have looked the same. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I guess I speak from a sentimental standpoint. Like, damn, he got stuck out here with Gabe Davis for 3 years, and his milk carton ass not being able to be found from week to week. By the way, it's Tuesday. We found Dawson Knox was missing this week. He got a couple catches, so he ain't on the milk carton.
Yeah, he here.
2 weeks in a row, no milk carton Knox. All right. So, but no, it's just a shame that he couldn't play with this kid, because while his time in Buffalo, he never had a receiver like this. Gabe Davis wasn't this. That's all. But no, I think he's coming to his own really fast. And Sean McDermott said it. I'm going to read what he said. And then I think, actually, I think I'll bring D. Dot in right after this statement. He said, this is Sean McDermott on the growth of Keon Coleman this week. Just growth, 1 week at a time. Growth development. Adam Henry, the Bills receiver coach, is doing a really good job with him. Having Amari, I think, helps too, because he's another veteran in the room. And to me, a big-time established veteran that's done great things in this league for a while. So that helps with the guys that are already in that room. We got good guys in that room who help young players develop and teach them the right way, teach them the right habits, the right routines, Monday through Saturday. That's what leads to what you saw on Sunday from Keon. What does that mean to you? What is he saying about Keon Coleman and specifically Amari Cooper in these couple weeks?
He has a strong leader, a veteran in the room that know how to do it right, point blank, period. And he's in the right way. And I'm surprised people didn't try to spin that as a jab at Stephon Diggs.
Oh, God.
You know how they do. You know how they do. But
Yeah.
he's just saying Cooper has been a lead in this league. Cooper does it the right way. And Keon Coleman, he's going to push Keon Coleman and show him how to properly prepare for an NFL football game week in and week out. Period.
Yeah. And it's somebody that he's saying, this dude's put up big numbers.
Yep.
This ain't no slouch. And he still could put up big numbers. So that doesn't mean that, and I don't know what Amari's role is with Keon. I'm not saying he's taking the side and say, hey, Rook, do this, do that, do this. But you don't need somebody to do that if you got common sense. All you need is these. You need these eyes and ears. You see and you listen and you repeat.
Absolutely.
So you just be observant. So I think that and it's funny because we literally just talked on this show last week about that and his effect on Keon Coleman, and boom, he gets here. I don't think it's a coincidence that Keon Coleman almost has damn near 300 yards in 2 games
You're right.
with Mari Cooper being here. Actually, to be honest with you, if I tally it up total, actually, I think it's over 300 yards in it for the last 3 games possibly.
Well, it might be.
It might be. I'm gonna check it out. But you got anything to add? Why I check that out on it?
Yeah, I just wanted to say like that alone may be a reason for them to may want to resign Cooper for a year or two. Right, extend him for
Yeah.
another couple of years. Right. I would if you feel this because you're going to draft somebody next year at some point anyway. Um, you know, when we look at it, if you can bring back Cooper, long term is Cooper, not long term, but a year at least next year or two. Cooper, Coleman, Shakir, Samuel. Then those last two jobs, if you carry six, I mean, it could be Mac Hollins. You can draft somebody. Like it all depends, right? And I think that can be something really, really dangerous if you do that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, you know what? And actually, it has 326 total in the season, but I don't know why I thought Cooper that was Cooper's second game. I'm an idiot. Um, over Cooper's like since Murray Cooper got here, this kid has 195 yards receiving in 2 games, 9 receptions on 14 targets. That's not it's not a coincidence.
Not at
It's
all.
not a coincidence. But hey, let's get D Dot in here. I know he waiting in that waiting room and he gonna be talking about this the offense and I know he's jump at the gears to get going. D Dot D Dot D Dot D Dot. What is up? What's
What up?
going
What
on?
up? What up?
What up with you?
Yeah, let's
You
talk
know,
this off.
you know.
Let's talk this
Ready to get this
offense,
pop
man.
with you fellas.
They rolling. Uh the Bills are averaging 29 points per game over the last 3. Okay. Hey, you haven't been you haven't been on the show since have you been on since we got Amari Cooper yet? Because you didn't come on last week, right?
Yeah, I wasn't on last week. I've been
Okay,
on
we got him.
since we acquired him, but not since he played.
Okay, listen, Bills average 29 points per game. Khalil Shakir ankle is healthy. Keon Coleman's balling out. Amari's president. What you got? What did you see from the offense specifically in this Seahawks game?
Well, let's start with the game plan, right? I love Brady's game plan as far as Ray. I see as how how they plan to attack the Seahawks, right? Now, if you pay attention, I was just talking with Matt about this earlier, implementing this into our actual little league team, right? Where they actually have more of the stretch motions, right? The stretch motions, not across the formation, but more so out to the boundary, right? And what that forces your corners to do is it forces your corners to widen out, your linebackers to widen out, threatens that boundary there. What does that open? The middle, right? Who did they have? Who did the Seahawks have in the middle? Tyrell Dodson. It's not a chance. It's not a coincidence that you know what I mean. That hey, he came from the Bills. Everybody, his knock was coverage and everything. He was a good run fit, but out in space and everything like that. Then all of a sudden, now who they attack that guy, right? And nothing against Dodson, man, but you got that scouting report. Hey, you got to put it to use. So I like that, man. I also like Josh being able to get the offense into the correct play. The only alert that I can remember that was a poor one was that quarterback was like that quarterback sweep / power play.
That was on
That
second
was a
down
poor.
or something, right?
Yeah, but they had
Yeah.
third to be able to
Yep.
be able to
Yep.
convert. That was the only poor play that I could recall him checking to. Even the throw on the slant to Coop, he was real decisive in that throw. Coop doesn't slip a little bit, he gets his hands on it. Maybe it's a minimal gain, maybe he's able to shake the tackle or whatever. I mean, honestly, it was just one of them plays where I feel the defensive back made a play on the ball.
Okay.
But I love the attack. I love Josh's decisiveness. I love that the different motion now that they had. And they were running that with Virgil a lot of times too. Virgil and Shakir, I believe. So yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I love how they got Keon involved. I loved how he was breaking off his route on the scramble drill. Man, like Mal said at the beginning, man, everything was coming together beautifully.
What did you see from a running game?
Running game. I loved it. I loved also. Okay. Key play. Red zone, outside zone play, 1-on-1 with whom again? Dotson. James Cook sprints to the pylon, gets there. I loved how James Cook. I love the ability that James Cook has to be able to get skinny. You know what I mean? It's like it seems as though he's getting really good timing with, and Mal knows about this, man. The timing with the linemen, being able to take your keys, your reads, and winning and knowing when to hit the seam, right? It seems like this dude, he just hits the seam and then he's just patient enough and then he accelerates at the right time and he always goes forward. You know what I mean? No matter what's going on, this guy goes forward, man. And then, of course, Ray Davis coming in, wrecking ball. You know what I mean? So that it's just, man, it's just like, honestly, it's really like pick your poison. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, this game was the perfect game to be able to see what the Bills can look like once they get the defense on their heels, man. And that like Mal said earlier, that Seahawks defense, they're no slouches, man. They got some names over there. Jaron Reed, Reek Woolen, Ernest Jones. He's, you know what I'm saying? He was put up numbers with the Rams before he went over there. So they got some pieces over there, man. So there's no slouches over there.
Kincaid involvement seems a little bit more. Obviously, they're still missing on those 1 or 2 passes of the game. You're like, damn, well, I really want you to complete that. What are you seeing from the difference from like the first 2 games of the season when it seemed like it was kind of struggling to get Kincaid to now really draw some things out? I think they even threw a couple like screens to him to get him involved immediately early.
Yeah. And you could, and even if you go back to last season, they were trying to hit Kincaid on some of those screens, those quick screens as well. But without the Bills really having that strong vertical, receiver aside from Gabe, but we didn't know what he was going to get from him and everything. Defenses seem to start keying on that, right? It was like the easy button throws that Brady was trying to give Josh. Now this year, right? It seems as though that's opening up. And the reason why I believe it's opening up is because, hey, now we got Coop on the boundary, right? We got Coop on the boundary. Or even if they got him on the slot, he could push, he could push vertically. He could open up some things. And now, hey, now we got that easy button throw. So where now Kincaid or Shakir, whoever's catching that, or even Keon when he caught the, couple of the screens. Now they can hit these seams. Boom. You already know. Mal knows. I see him nodding his head. You hit that seam, you got to see it and you got to go, right? And I think before, of course, Samuel got injured, he would be able to benefit from that too. So that's even something to be excited about once he comes back. Now with Coop being out there, being able to have that threat on the boundary, and even Keon doing what he's doing on the boundary, that's going to be a dangerous thing, man, for real.
Yeah. James, you got any questions about the off the D-dot? Anything that you want to
The effect of Ray Davis. How much you think that? Can you explain to our viewers the effect of Ray Davis and what he's brought to this offense, and kind of like the overlooked type of hero in our offense? Can you explain what you think, in your expertise, his impact is on our offense?
Yeah, bro. Like we talk about, you and I talk about it all the time. Being able to have a not even I don't want to say dual threat. That's a phrase that's used a lot. But being able to have like that, not even 2-headed monster, just being able to have that guy that can come in and there's little to no drop off, right? Yeah. And I think the key with Ray Davis too is now him having that ability as that pass catcher. He's a physical dude, so now you got to bring your hard hat. But then all of a sudden now he could get downfield and he could make you move. He can make you miss a little bit. I think one of the episodes you mentioned how his speed to the boundary, him and Ty Johnson. Yeah, speed to the boundary, man. Like that's scary, man. Like a 5'8", what is he like 5'8", 220 or something like that?
Yeah, they get that edge. Just it's bad things for that defense.
Physical.
Yeah. And if you take the wrong angle, guess what? He's willing to put them shoulder pads. He's willing to put them pads on you,
bro. Protocol.
So yeah. You say, oh yeah, definitely, definitely. He getting up a little woozy.
Protocol. That's
like Mal would say, he getting up drunk. You know what I mean?
Bobbing and weaving.
That's a guardian cap. 2 weeks.
Yeah. So man, just Ray Davis being able to be, a jack of all trades, man. I mean, he's able to really able to do it all. And I think once he continues with the nuances of, pass pro and everything, I know he was pretty decent coming in, but once he gets those nuances there, you're not going to know what he's going to do. And you keep the defense guessing. That's the hardest thing for a defense.
Yeah. Josh Allen. Josh Allen is leading the team in his way now. They're 6-2. He finally threw a first interception. He had the fumble that actually led to a first down. What are you seeing from Josh of why he's being so efficient with the football? And do you think that the addition of Amari Cooper is even going to make that even more sustainable?
Hell yes and hell yes. Right, just simply put, man. I mean, starting with Coop, right? You got to see wherever he went, he's had production. You know, and he hasn't always had marquee guys throwing him the football. We know he started off, and JT, you even pointed out, like at the point in time we were talking about Amari Cooper's numbers, he was at the same level as Shakir with his numbers, and we were saying that's a down start.
Right.
So to be able to say that is a testament to his ability to still produce no matter what situation he's in. Those are dogs. Those are ballers. Those are actual game changers, right there. As far as Josh is concerned, I think what I like about Brady and Josh being able to work together is it seems as though Brady is building in some easy button throws for Josh. So Josh is not necessarily, he's able to get into the swing, into the groove of the game, right? How a team is defending him, being able to roll into it a little bit, because we've seen like the first game against the Jets last year. It seemed like Josh was like he was looking for that big play, and he was still trying to figure the defense out, and then trying to still know when to make the big play and when not to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This now it seems as though Brady is installing some of those easy button throws, and with the recent addition of Coop, now those are actually opening up for guys to make plays and be able to get downfield and just be able to keep the defense guessing, man. So I love Josh's decisiveness. I love the easy button throws that Brady has been able to put in. I just love how these guys are all coming together, and now it's really coming into everybody eats. To be real with you, like we're seeing that manifest even more now.
So I'm going to ask you this question. I possibly need this answer because I may just trade for this guy in my fantasy league. Khalil Shakir. Obviously, this week he just had. Let me just go back and check what he had. I want to make sure. I'm pretty sure it's 9 receptions.
Yep, for 9 for 107.
107. Okay, off 10 targets.
Yep.
Is that going to be his role? Being that do-it-all guy across the middle, the screen guy. They got him involved. I think they threw almost 2 or 3 screens to him, and he was moving them chains.
Yep. Yeah. I think he's going to be what they were looking for McKenzie to be a couple years ago.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you could see them trying. And honestly, it got to a point where they was trying to squeeze a square peg through a round hole. With him being McKenzie being mercurial, up and down.
Yeah.
But as we can see, Shakir is way more consistent. He's way more reliable. And even if you look at it like this, I've actually got the numbers down right. Josh went 283 for 2 tuds and one pick. Shakir 9 for 107, like we said. Knox 2 for 50. Not on a milk carton, like y'all said. And Kincaid for 4 for 31 for 1 TD, right? So those guys alone, and those are the guys who are working the middle third of the football field typically. Those guys alone producing that, they accounted for 66% of Josh's output in yardage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's enough said. That shows you exactly what the game plan was, but also what these guys are able to do in the middle of the football field.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So no, man, that's all good stuff right there. That's like I said, really, really good breakdown. Josh Allen, is he in the MVP conversation right now?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I mean, in my personal opinion, I give the nod to Lamar Jackson still currently.
Yeah. Jackson is there.
I think Josh is number 2 in that race.
Oh yeah. And one thing I want to say, JT, is it's so funny that everybody was bringing up the turnover and specifically the interceptions from Josh. He now has 0 picks, but you're not hearing anything about that.
Yep.
Any kind of improvement about that. And if you do, it's like a little blurb. It's like a little, oh, by the way, type of mention of it.
Well, it's like, you know what it is when it comes down to the media, this has been their running story. He's great, he's this, but he turns the ball over. Which and respect to their he does. He has turned the ball over. He's turned the ball over the most out of any quarterback in the last 3 years. I mean, like I said, that's the Brett Favre side that we've always talked about. That and James always say, listen, you don't want him to change, you're gonna live and you're gonna die with it. But you don't want him to be different.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, he doesn't. But in the day, it seems like the media they don't even credit for it. They're just waiting.
Yeah.
When he throws that pick in a late game situation, they're gonna say, there it is.
I
See,
told
I
you so.
told you.
Oh, Josh.
So, it's kind of how the media game works. You gotta keep the ratings up. But no, man. Is there anything that you want to see from this offense going into this Miami game? I think we covered. Anything else you want to cover on the offensive side of the ball, or we're good?
Um,
James
not. Oh, James. Okay, got you.
James
Yep.
Cook? No, for you. Anything James Cook?
Oh, no, man, nothing really from Cook, man. Honestly, I really just love how he's running the ball. We haven't really seen him having that big down the field receiving game yet, like really breakout
Yeah.
game. But with the way he's running the ball, man, who cares?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares, man? I will say that score with Kincaid on the scramble drill where Josh threw it to Kincaid and he split the defenders and he scored on that. I think that was a mesh concept. Historically, Dolphins have been susceptible to the mesh.
We
I
killed them
mean,
with the mesh the
so
last 3 years now.
yeah,
They want to
getting
play
cooked.
man
I
coverage
know
across the damn board.
exactly. I know it was Fangio before,
Mm-hmm.
but historically, Josh has just been able to kill them. So I mean, I was encouraged to be able to see him, escape, see that window, get ball to his playmaker, and let him make a play.
Before we go to the Dolphins and start preparing for the Dolphins game, Mal, you got anything to add to the running game?
Ooh, the tight end is blocking like a mother. I think that's something that we're not talking about enough. The offensive line play and how well the tight ends are blocking. Let's be real here. It was brilliant for the Buffalo Bills to sign Spencer Brown before this year started. Because the contract that man would be getting on this open market, it wouldn't be nothing nice. So I know a lot of Bills fans like, wow, the way that young man is playing,
Yeah.
flying down the field, second effort, he's blocking at the second and third level, right? That offensive line is playing so well right now. I hope they continue to keep it up. They thought that losing Mitch Morris was going to hurt. I did. I'm one that did.
I've been packing. I was packing those bags up 2
You
years
was.
ago.
You was. You was, JT. But honestly, the way that offensive line looked, wow. Then the draft pick of Torrance last year, that changed everything. We solidified that right guard position.
Yeah. And
Oof.
Dave Edwards, that was a great find. That's obviously Aaron Cromer find. But speaking of it, just speaking of it's Torrance, a guy who had a little rough start to the season. You haven't heard his name since.
Yep.
Cleaned it up.
Getting into the flow of the things. So that offensive line is probably one of the best in the NFL. And I think we got to give them some love in regards to what they're doing. And them just taking care of business. So I'm excited for what they're doing. And then we got to show them some love.
You know what, Cindy? That's a good question. We're gonna answer that. Give us some time to think about it. We'll answer that one next show. I'll make specifically that one's on next show. That's a good one.
Very good one.
We'll dive into that one just a little bit. But yeah. So the Bills are headed to Miami this week. Oh boy, my screen ain't. Okay, here we go. To play the Dolphins.
No, Miami's here.
Oh, I'm sorry, not headed to Miami. You know what? You know why I always say that? Because no matter where we play Miami, it's a home game.
True story.
So I don't know if we're heading to Miami for good weather to play the game in better weather, or we playing at home. It don't really matter. Either way, it's a home game now. So
Yeah.
we own them. So
Basically.
obviously it's a big game. D-Dot, what do you want to see from the Bills against this Miami Dolphins defense? They're struggling. They just took a bad L to the Arizona Cardinals and your favorite quarterback, Kyler Murray. So what's
Y'all know I'm a Kyler Murray fan.
James
I was this week.
Yeah, facts though. Facts. When those little legs started running and he got that first, I was like, yes, yes.
Things that get the moving.
Yeah, man, little tricky leg. So
I know who couldn't catch him. Jordan Poyer couldn't catch him.
Oh man,
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Go ahead, man.
Man.
Listen, what's Arizona?
On,
what did I tell you before the season, JT? What team scared me the most out of the first half of our schedule?
He said Arizona.
Arizona was the team that scared me more than any team in the first half of our schedule.
Thank God we caught them game week 1.
Yeah, them dudes. That's a good team, man. I don't care what nobody say. That's a good team. I think they're gonna make the playoffs.
They might. I mean, as long as their quarterback attitude stay in check.
Yeah, bugged out. Bug. So yeah, so to answer your question, JT, man, I'm just looking for the Bills to just be able to get off to a fast start. Get off to a fast start, get physical with these guys. It seems as though they have a knack for disrupting what Miami wants to do as far as even with those stretch motions, those ghost motions and everything. Just being able to get in these guys' hip pocket. Jalen Waddle, and nothing against Jalen Waddle. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he has some issues with physicality. Tyreek Hill, I believe, can hold his own.
Somewhat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe he could hold his own throughout the course of a game. I don't know. It seems like he could get a little frustrated, but who wouldn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, just get physical with these guys, and then of course the run game. Don't let Mostert start getting and just running.
Yeah.
Don't let Achane start getting on a roll. You know what I mean? Hit these guys, hit them soon, and wrap up well.
Yeah. James, Miami's coming to town. What do you want to see from the Bills in this game? And I got some things I want to say. So.
Run the ball early and often.
Yep.
Run the ball early and often. They're a finesse team. They want a shootout, right? Mm-hmm. You run the ball, punch them in the face. I'm telling you, the first down, second down of the series, I'm running the ball. Listen, let's get at it. Let's get busy. You know, we running the football, running in between the tackles. We getting at it, and letting them know this is what it's gonna be like all game. That's the man. I think that's the key is being able to just get that ground game going. Get the ground game going. I think everything else will kind of fall into place from there. But that's major for me to get the running game going.
All right. Listen, I'm just gonna say this. All right. I said last year that when Miami had the chance to trade for Jonathan Taylor, that you should have done it. And the reason I said that then, and I still believe that now, is what you just said. They're a finesse team. They lack physicality on both sides of the ball. They can't run themselves to a victory, which showed when Tua went out, they were a totally different football team. And you couldn't even come up with a game plan. Offensive genius. Couldn't even come up with a game plan to get them wins in games where they were low-scoring games. And you have this speed burner in Tyreek Hill. You have this speed burner in Jalen Waddle. You have this speed burner in Raheem Mostert, in Achane, and in Jalen Wright. Because you got to put Jalen Wright in that category too. You have all these speed guys. But you know why you can't win? Because you're soft. They're soft. They're a very, very soft football team. Okay? They're just like the sand out there in Fort Lauderdale and in Miami Beach. You just stick your foot in it and you just mold to it. You just kick it around. That's them. They're soft. There's no physicality to them. And mind you, I respect Mike McDaniel as a coach. And I like him as a coach. But until his teams develop some toughness, you're not going to win. You're not going to win nothing. Nothing. Track meets get you to the playoffs. But they also get you a very fast exit, if you get what I'm saying. And that's what's been happening to them. They're 2-5. They're lingering on for help. Now, mind you, I would say this: if two of them get injured, I don't think they'll be 2-5.
No, they wouldn't be.
There's probably probably even three of those games they would have won without him. Okay, at least two, and even if they won two of the games, you're 4-3. That's a totally different ball game.
But
totally
that's for them to have a backup quarterback situation that bad. That's embarrassing, man. Somebody should lose their job. That you can barely throw for 150 hours a game without your starter. Somebody need to lose their job, man.
Well, let me add to that. Not only did you not have a back starting quarterback, the backup quarterback you had to replace with another backup quarterback off the market. You knew that your quarterback had concussion problems. How stupid can you be? And I've told you, Chris Greer, in my opinion, is a very stupid general manager. He's a stupid general manager.
Talk that talk, JT.
And you go through the years, you trade all your mid-round picks for veterans, you extend people, you give Bradley Chubb $100 million, you bring Jalen Ramsey in, and guess what? And excuse me, when this shit hits the fan, you think Ramsey's gonna be very cooperative? I don't think so. Good luck with that. Javon Holland ain't gonna resign with you. Jordan Poyer is having the worst year of his career, and he's happy just to be driving 15 minutes down the road from his home to keep his wife happy. Let's just be honest. All right. Your main weapon is John Smith right now. A journeyman tight end. You still got no offensive line. Listen, the Bills need to come out and just put these dudes to rest. Do them a favor and put them out of their misery and end their damn season. Just do it. End their season for them and let them get a head start on how they're going to fix this shit show they got over there in Miami. Because that's exactly what it is at this point.
JT,
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Who does that sound familiar to? Like who do they sound familiar to? Like what team do they sound like a carbon copy of? Aside from the quarterback position.
The track meet?
No, like even their additions, their team composition, how their general manager put the team together, and how the aspirations that they had moving forward with that.
I'm not trying to think. Who you got?
The Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets.
Yeah.
Big name guys. You know what I mean? Bunch of free agents, and you know what I mean, that look great on paper. Now all of a sudden, what does it look like? And plus, their line is in that. We know what the Jets line looks like, aside from Elijah Vera Tucker and maybe Tippmann. It's the Jets, man. I see the correlation between the two. Maybe not as big of a of a deal because of Aaron Rodgers' effect, but
Yeah,
I see a correlation between the two, man. It's insane.
and you know what? I didn't think about that. Only thing I say is different is with the Jets, the Miami, and I don't want to use this term lightly because I don't want to say it literally. But with Miami, you're kind of waiting to see when the cancer is going to set in and spread to that locker room. Who it's going to be? The Jets, you brought in cancer.
Oh yeah.
So my thing is, I'd say that the Jets has an idiot owner, and Miami has an idiot GM. And I mean, I'm not like the Buffalo hasn't won the Super Bowl and been there. So I mean, we don't have room necessarily talk about winning because we haven't been to the promised line either. But we ain't did dumb shit like that, like what they're doing. This is stupid. Like, and I get it. I know Cindy says, so in that vein, how much trust you have in Mitch as a backup? I don't have any trust in Mitch Trubisky as a backup. But we also haven't seen Josh Allen be stuck on the field and can't move multiple times.
JT,
That's why Mal says that.
Yeah, my thing is, even with Mitch, right? Mitch Trubisky, for a 4-game span, I'm willing to say he's going to throw for 200 yards in at least 3 of those 4 games. And he's not going to lose us the game. He's going to give us the opportunity to be able to we're going to be able to tread water. We're not just going to go, right? He's going to be able to give us the opportunity. Our team is good enough that he'll give us the opportunity to win. He's not going to turn the ball over more than likely, unless we ask him to throw the ball 30, 35 times, right? But the way it's structured, I think Mitch Trubisky we would be okay for 4. Let's hope that don't happen. But I think we'll be okay for 3 or 4
Knocking
games.
on wood.
Yeah,
Matt,
seriously. The
Matt,
way these dudes weren't throwing for 100 yards.
That's
exactly. What's the percentage you want your backup quarterback to get you far as wins and losses?
Listen, give me 50%, I can live with it.
Exactly. That's what you want your backup to do. That's what they always say. Your backup is there to be able to get you 50% at least of your games that they got to play.
Yeah. But like I said, when you know that your quarterback's been knocked out multiple times, and it's like one concussion away from actually possibly being on season-ending IR, you better invest in that position.
Well, let's look at it too. Trubisky was a 2nd-round pick. Or excuse me, second overall pick.
Yep.
Second pick overall, man. Second pick overall. He started a ton of games in this league.
Yep.
And on top of starting a ton of, that's a ton of starting experience for your backup. That dude ain't gonna sweat if he gotta come in and play. Not at all. He's gonna be ready to roll.
Right.
And then he made a Pro Bowl in his career. And he's not even 30. Wait, is he 30?
He may be getting there now, but even thinking about that, when you really talk about it, Mitch Trubisky in that same role as coming as a backup when he lost our job, came in, won like 4 or 5 games in a row, and took them to the playoffs. The Bears.
So what I'm saying, like with Trubisky, I mean, once again, knock on wood, it don't happen. But you talking about a dude who started 30 plus games in the NFL, not played, started 30 plus. The Miami had no. They back. It was bad. They did somebody didn't do their job.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, oh, there ain't somebody. I'll tell you who didn't do their job. Chris Greer. That's his name. Circle it in the sand. Put a circle around the big red circle. Chris Greer did not do his job. Pathetic.
It's the JT pose. It's the JT pose, Mal. You got it. I was waiting on it.
Yep.
But last topic of the night. But last topic of the night. I think too with this game too, the Bills corners have done a really good job on Wilder and Hill. Whatever they're doing game plan wise, keep doing it. Keep doing it. They've done a hell of a job on it. Von Miller returning for a 4-game suspension. How impactful is this going to be? Mal, I'll start with you.
When it happened, I was like, damn. But I was like, damn in a good way. Because they gave Solomon some reps, right? So I'm big on the backup guys getting reps. Like that, these reps that Spectre and these reps that Dorian Williams are getting are going to take us to another level. That's just making the roster so much stronger, the foundation of that roster. So you look at Solomon, got some valuable reps in these last 4 games. Also, what people failing to realize, you got a healthy Von Miller who had a 4-game rest in the middle of a football season. Then he's going to get another one. We have a bye week. That is really, really dangerous. You got a guy who takes care of himself, who's going to sit back. He's going to watch film. He's going to come back fresh. I'm willing to bet he get a sack this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna. What do you got? D dot. Now I'll start getting some of these questions when we get off here.
I agree with James. I basically ditto, man. I like him being able to come in, you know what I'm saying, as a rotational piece. The change up pitch or the closer, whatever it is that you want to call it. And we also were able to see what Epinesa can do, you know what I'm saying, with more reps as well while Miller was gone, because while Miller was suspended, he had that big game, right? I forgot who it was against. So yeah, man, I agree 110%, man. I love it, and also that rest factor that James mentioned, man, that's paramount for a veteran. So yeah, I agree.
I'd say this, and I just want to look up Miller's stats real quick just before I.
He got 3 sacks on the season, if I'm not mistaken. 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm actually verifying that right now. I just want to make sure that I have his correct stats there. So this year he already has 5 tackles, which is 3 more than he had all last season. He has 3 sacks on the season, and I think he only played 3 games, right? Was it 3 or did he play 4? He played 3 games, right?
Yeah, 3. Well, we 5-2. Yeah, so he played 3. Yep.
Was Ravens week 3?
Yep, because he was suspended for 4. We played 7, so yeah, he's suspended for 3. Or he played 3, suspended for 4.
Yeah. So I would say this. I think this is huge. Him coming back, like you say, these guys are stepping up already without him.
Yep.
It just adds another dimension. We're gaining a lot. We're gaining that professional pass rusher. Like I said, like you've been saying the last couple of years, James, that professional pass rusher. Now you're getting him back, and we know he's fresh. We know he's healthy. It's probably it may have been beneficial for him to take the 4 games off and just kind of train and, take away a little bit of wear and tear off the 35, 36-year-old body. So, I think it's huge getting him back. Huge getting him back. So I think it'd be a welcome addition back. But I'll get to some of these questions really quickly. Let me go to the first one. Major Cole says, James, what do you rate Coleman's hands?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
So if we going 1 to 10,
Yeah.
right now I'll give him a 7.58 because I haven't seen a lot of drops, but I'm confident saying an 8.
Okay.
Yeah, he has. If you rate it or 8 like grade in school, he has solid B plus.
I agree with that. Ray Cruz says, is the Bills is their version of the tush push better than Phillies?
Whew, better. The version of it. Okay, we got to talk about which one it is. Jason Kelsey version? No, hell no. That was insane. Now, I think it's comparable. I can't say better. I think it's comparable. There's some times where Josh will pause and he'll choose the vacant gap. A lot of times you'll just see Jalen Hurts just go forward, man. Like he's He's just there. So it's comparable though.
Cindy, Major Poco says, "Yo, if you don't want to mention it, D. Dot, you're a great addition to the team. Absolutely, 110%.
Yes, sir.
Get a man his flowers.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Cindy Martinez says, ours is the snow plow. I like that. I like that.
I like that. I do. I like that. I like that.
Cindy, you need to hit up the Bills PR team with that one, man. For real.
Or the patent it first. Get your money. Get your money.
Facts.
Get them money. They taking it they can get to pay that damn steady off. Don't give me money. Just saying. Taking anything they can get to pay that stadium off. I think that's it for the questions. I know we're gonna answer Cindy's next show about the extension. I think that's a really good topic. Yeah, that's about it, man. I'd say, man, another great show, fellas. We'll be back next week. Hopefully 7-2. It'll be huge if the Bills can go 7-2. That's huge going to that.
Wait,
KC
no.
game.
So we 6-2. So Von played in 4 games then.
Yeah. No one thinks about the Ravens because he barely played in the Ravens because they were running the ball down our throat. So he didn't really play that much.
Okay.
That's why I thought he was suspended initially when I was talking to you about it. I didn't realize he was even playing. So, no, man, big win.
Hold up, JT. You sure we 6-2? I thought we was 5-2. Why? Where am I at here?
We 6-2. 6-2, man.
Why am I thinking we 5-2?
I don't know.
You sure?
I'm positive. It's right here. It's right here.
Yeah,
Don't be scared. Don't be cheating us out of no wins, man.
Yeah, we just bypassed. We just got through week 8, so yeah, we're 6-2.
Yeah, we're 6-2. We ain't got no bye week yet. We got bye week.
I'm sorry, everybody. It's past my bedtime. I guess.
I think we get our bye week after the Chiefs game.
11? Yeah, week 11, week 12,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
I love later bye weeks.
That's what it is when you out here running the world, like, you know what I mean, J Mal and everything like that, man. I call him Money Mal.
Show me Money
out here
Mal.
running the world
Money
and
Mal.
everything. So
Monopoly Money Mal.
okay. Can't keep up with the days.
Let's see. Let's get the border off here. But yeah, other than that, I mean, another good show, fellas. Hopefully we'll be back here next week with a 7-2, and hopefully the Dolphins season over. The Jets are playing the Texans. Unfortunate news: Stephon Diggs with torn ACL today.
Yeah, that's tough.
Prayers to him. He played himself with that contract, though. Just being honest about it.
Yeah,
should never done that, but hopefully he comes back healthier and stronger. Prayers out to him. Hopefully the Texans take care of the Jets this week, and hopefully we just end these two teams. The Jets and Dolphins could both be done this week. Let's be honest. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So, other than that, man. I'm sorry. You're right, Cindy. Score prediction. She's 100% right. D. Dot coming to you first.
Ooh, no.
Cindy, keep on our toes.
No. I'm gonna go 31-17 Bills, of course.
Okay. Now, what you got?
Kind of took mine. I was gonna go 35-20. I was gonna say 17, 35.
Bills?
Yes, Bills.
All right. Listen, okay. Miami's in desperation mode. Tua's back. They're healthy. They found another runner in Jalen Wright. Defense is, listen. All the things are.
They defense not healthy.
No, they're not. But all the things are leading up to Miami needing to win this game, and they need to make a statement versus Buffalo. So with that being said, okay, I'm gonna go the Bills 31-20. It doesn't matter.
Oh man. Get this dude out of here, man.
Get JT.
I think it's past JT's bedtime too, man. Because after that one, man, all that build up there for that.
I'll tell you what, I know who bet time it's gonna be, and it should be Miami. So, hey, other than that, guys, great show. We're out of here. We gave predictions. Hopefully next week, 7-2. Other than that, catch you guys later. Peace.